Americans have made, and the history and the rich culture that
to America. Can you take my phone and film it?
And he sends me the thing with the whole quote of what would you do? I don't know, I just wrote back and I just peed a little. Maybe laugh out loud in a public place. I hate him for it.
I just have, first thing to couple say, go Redskins, sorry.
I can appreciate that. When in Rome.
Second, at the moment, Gil is now my favorite Winchester. He really kicked ass.
He's my favorite Winchester too. He's awesome. Was he here?
And without
He's another Texas boy.
and without him, we wouldn't be here. So
How did they manage to find 3 Texas guys to play
4. Well, if you count Bobby, the honorary Winchester.
Very cool. Yeah, he's rad.
We do our casting in Texas. Part of our contract.
I'm waiting for you guys to change my mind, because this is the first time I've ever seen you or met you, so I'm totally up for it.
Give us
Oh, so it's okay. So yeah, now we're under a microscope. This is all a big test
It will
today.
grow,
I see.
just like a sprout. See, that's what happens when you don't sleep because there's a baby. You're going to sprout. Is it your birthday?
Liar.
My sister's birthday was yesterday. So. There you go. Yes, that's right.
I adore you both, but as a consummate sound
If you talk about Gilligan,
Gilligan? Who's Gilligan? Or the stripper? Either one of those. This is the wrong show.
I do love you both, but I do. My question is for Greg, with consummate Sam girl.
We all have our faults.
I too am a Sam girl. I like to think of myself as a Sam girl.
I like to think of you as a Sam girl. I often call you Samantha.
I sort of set myself up for that. I can't even be mad.
I have a playlist of songs that for me represent the character of Sam Winchester and what he means to me. And my question is...
A lot of Katy Perry.
A little bit cooler than that. I wanted to know if you were to pick a song that represents your character, what would it be so I could add it to my playlist?
Ooh, give me a chance to think about that. There's probably a good answer. I don't want to give you an off-the-cuff answer, because it's going to be a good one, but I will get back to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything by 4 Non-Blondes.
Sort of the whole album. I'll think about that. Very cool.
Yes.
Hi, thank you. I was wondering, how do you stay in character in between takes, or is it easier for
You know how exhausting that would be?
Actually, it
For
depends.
9 years?
I'll stay in character in between seasons. In between takes.
Yeah, I haven't seen Jared since I met him 10 years ago.
Sometimes.
Well,
I stay in character
too, sometimes. If it's a
really
really,
season last year.
yeah, if it's a really, really kind of intense set of scenes, if you're doing like, if there's a day where it's just a really, really heavy day, he can, I think it's easy for him sometimes to just kind of stay in that mental state, but it's not in character, like it's not a Daniel Day-Lewis type of thing. It's more just kind of staying in that frame of mind, or staying in that mood. You know, if it's a really heavy dramatic scene.
It's hard to like do a cry scene and then go shoot.
Yeah, they're not gonna say cut and be like, hey guys, how about them Cowboys? You
To
know,
America! I was totally my Team America character yesterday.
Yes.
I was walking around like a ball.
But yeah, so I think to answer your question, if it serves a purpose, then we do, but most of the time, no.
What do you do to get yourself into being and into Sam?
We wait for action. No, literally, it's gotten to the point where we've done this so much that we can kind of snap into character very quickly. And sometimes it throws the guest stars off quite heavily.
I think
we'll be,
Is
what's
Oscar
that?
here? I think it totally threw Oscar off at first, because we'd be like joking around, they'd be like, action, and we'd totally break in. He's like, what? They were just laughing. Wait, like, I can't, they were just, all right.
Yeah, we'll be joking around literally right up until the point that they yell action. And sometimes beyond action. Sometimes they yell action, we'll be like, was that, okay. Sam. So it's, sometimes people are like, wait, is this a take or are we rehearsing? I don't understand.
What's going on here? Who are these guys?
So, but you know, when you do 195 episodes of something, it's...
I'm gonna go way over here to the left.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, you guys missed Oz's breakdancing last night.
I wouldn't say I missed it.
Second of all, I wanted to know why you guys, on your opinion, why you think that they never talked about hunters in other countries, or the fact that they never had anything near the DC area. Yeah. And as Misha pointed out yesterday, Congress is probably cold monsters, so...
Yeah. I think the reason Sam and Dean haven't come to DC to hunt monsters is because
There's too many.
No, I was gonna say,
We need backup.
so much freaking security here that like Sam and Dean walking around with a gun, I'm sure we'd be
Set a federal badge.
big no-no here.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Have you seen 1,000 federal
Try to
badges
get it
today?" That's
at
not
Pentagon.
I think it's
And then to touch on your question about the other countries, I've actually often wondered that too. I'm like, when are we gonna get to like, you know, go to,
Yeah, England.
yeah, go to Europe or Tahiti. Aren't there ghosts in Tahiti?
But Dean doesn't
Dean can't fly there.
This is true. Dean's much like John Madden. He's just gonna drive across the country. He won't
that
fly.
little duck bus that's been driving around the Washington.
What was the rest of the world doing when you guys started the apocalypse?
That's a good question.
I think they were all hoping that the Winchesters would come through. I like to think that there are Winchester-esque brothers and hunters in other parts of the world taking care of their territory. We got this area covered. We have pen pals.
There's
Everything's good.
Facebook. It's sort of like Instagram, the demons we killed. Oh, some bloke from Ireland. Is that where blokes are from? Is that right? Sure, my brain goes around.
Good morning. I was wondering, because this show, you're so emotionally heavy all the time. And
Yeah, you're telling me.
it has to be so emotionally connected. Is that translated into real life, like connecting with people easier?
You mean sort of being emotionally available?
Yeah.
Probably. I think acting in general, if it serves its purpose well, kind of helps you understand and connect with other people. I mean, it's our job to play somebody else, and so in order to play a character, believe it or not, you have to empathize with them. You know, like sometimes I think Sam's a freaking weirdo, but I have to go like, how can I make this make sense? How can I make Jared make sense of what Sam is doing? And so you force yourself to understand somebody else's viewpoint. And I think the only time you can ever be wrong as a human being is when you say somebody else is wrong, you know, because you don't know where they've been, you don't know where their shoes belong. So, I think so. Yeah, that was emotionally heavy.
I agree.
He agrees. Why?
Yes.
All right. Speaking of sister's birthdays, it's my sister's birthday today.
BS. That's my line.
But anyway, Jared, I saw your IMDb page recently, and there was something kind of interesting on it. A Disney Channel original movie. What can you tell us about that?
Ooh, do tell.
You mean the one from a long time ago? Oh, yeah. Talking dolphins. Huh? Yeah. I was not the dolphin cycle. Yeah, I did a movie called A Ring of Endless Light. Yeah, many years ago. The Angry Dolphin. I worked with a buddy of mine, Ryan Merriman, and Misha Barton before the OC days. And I got to play like the rich jerk.
Sam, I thought he didn't want to join the family business.
He did not want to join the family business. Yeah, that's a running theme of my character. I tell my agent, like, listen, find me a character in the family business, and I don't want to go into it. And then I just sign. You're gonna go, I'll take it. Yeah, that was fun. I was given a really good compliment though, or my manager was giving a really good compliment, because I was supposed to be the bad guy. I was supposed to be like, hey, I'm kind of cool.
But that's his bad guy.
Hey, how's it going? Scary, huh? But the director called my agent and was like, we can still tell he's nice. Like we still like the bad guy more than the good guy. Sympathetic, yeah, that's good. I like that. Hey, so that's season 10 Sam. Dean, hey. There's a bloke in Ireland who's hunting a demon.
Yes.
Give it a rest, man.
Sorry.
I wanted to ask if you would please do that look me in the eye, look me in the eye.
So, I'm sorry, the what?
Where you're holding that vampire up against the wall.
Yeah, there was a lot of sexy in that room that day.
Cut it with a knife.
But can you do it like this?
Look me in the eye. Sucker. Bitch. Something like that.
That's good.
Yeah, what about it?
You're very intense and you say, look me in the eye, and then like you go all pain and
Yeah.
There's more of that coming.
Yeah, it's, what was the last episode you guys saw? It was, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's,
right into it. That's what I'm looking for.
oh, yeah. Let me be clear, there has to be cameras. And a crew, and a director, and a script supervisor, and a sound stage, and help me out here. Microphones.
There used to be a tambourine. Oh god.
Yeah, that's, those are one of those moments where you kind of got to stay in it a little bit. You don't just snap into that. I would say like the motel scenes where we're just kind of bantering and like the exposition scenes, those are the ones we just kind of snap into. But that scene, that was, you know, there was a bit of a fight scene, there was some build up, there was some, Dean was very angry that day.
Wonderful voice.
There's a lot of
It was my Batman voice.
I'm gonna go.
There's a lot more of that coming.
There's a lot more of that coming. I'm gonna go right over here so you know what I'm. Yes.
Hi, I just want to say hello to both of you guys so much. All of my friends have told me to ask you, Jared, if you have heard the Jared Padalecki song.
I just snotted. No, I don't believe I have that.
Somebody with the song.
I saw something about my butt. There was like a funny internet thing.
JaredPadalecki'sAss.com.
Oh, who's counting, right? I don't know if I've heard the Jared Padalecki song.
God, somebody is sick.
Is that terrifying?
How long is it?
It's 17 minutes. It's Bohemian Rhapsody. It's Freebird.
And it got a DeVita.
While you pull that up, let's take
I
another
would
question. Hi.
I will serve. Wait one second.
Okay. Oh, 20 seconds? Oh, minute 20.
All right, let me do it.
Come on, we got a minute 21 seconds. 1 second. We'll get right back.
All right.
Has anybody not heard
Anybody
this?
know? Is this going to be embarrassing?
This is going to be equally embarrassing for all of you as it is for us. Or him, I would say.
Okay.
This song sucks.
It's the ad.
I like it so far.
Suspense is killing me.
Here's what?
Oh, pretty girls.
He's gonna need to sit down with that. Look at me.
Before I blush, it's a little hot.
Hi, moving on.
It's an amazing voice, whoever's... Was that you? It's Sebastian. Let's go to the... You want to go to the...
We got, I already followed us. Yeah. Cinco de Mayo tomorrow.
Portro de Mayo.
May the 4th, yes, it's the national, it's
Dean's
Star Wars.
Is it Dean's
the
birthday?
4th be with you, I got you.
Yesterday was Sam's birthday?
Friday.
Oh, 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Got it. I was like, I don't know when Sam and my sister had something.
It's Star Wars Day, nerd.
Star Wars Day.
So,
May the 4th
May the 4th be with you, come on!
I read Star Wars books. Don't try and Star Wars nerd on me.
Okay, sorry. It's our new contract.
I don't know. I think that's the way it worked out. I think I don't know if Misha has been around. I think they're really trying to get more Misha and more Shepard. I think in order to flesh them out, I think the writers can try to show who they are outside of who they are just in relation to us. And that's kind of the best way to really realize the character is to see them outside of just who they are in comparison to somebody else. So it's been nice. I mean, I think he's a douche, but I think he's a good actor. I'm just kidding. I think he's a good actor.
Yeah, I think it's they needed a storyline, and they've got it, like you said, other than just their relationship with the brothers, you kind of have to give them their own storyline. So that's what's happened. But
there's a lot of us together next to us.
It will all come back together shortly. Yeah.
And Dean's all like, Cass, look at me, bitch. And Sam's like, guys, come on. What is that? What?
I like it.
I'm going back to Jared Padalecki's ass.com.
So my question is, one, Jared, what's your favorite part of playing Sam? And then Jensen, I was wondering, I know you sing and you're a wonderful singer, and I was wondering if the song Angelus, is that really you singing it? Because I bought it thinking it was you, and it sounds like you, and I hope it's you, and is it?
That was the most honest, genuine progression of thoughts. And it made sense. Because I also bought it, I thought it was you.
I'm really hoping please tell me it's you. If it's not you, I don't know what I'm going to do. But it's you. Lie to me. You can lie to me. Yes, it's me. I think, if you bought the right one. Maybe you bought the one that sang the Jared Padalecki song. I don't know.
Well, it's beautiful.
Or is it? No, yeah, that's me.
It's really good, thank you.
Thank you. That's fine.
Oh, for me, I think the best part of playing Sam is trying to be as genuine as that was. I love Sam's vulnerability, and I think he's a pretty genuine dude. So,
Thank you.
thank you. I'm gonna let you choose this one.
Where are you from?
I think you're going to see him impeccably undressed.
Does it bother us that he remains so impeccably dressed, even though
I think it's
he's so evil, Crowley, so evil and sinister? No, it doesn't bother me at all.
I think it's even better for characterization. There's almost like a little bit of Bond going to it. Yeah, exactly. It's that timeless, like, how does he pull that off? He's got a suit
Movie
on.
magic, that's what that is. Well, plus, we can't have everyone on the show look like they shop for clothes at Home Depot. somebody's got to be the fashion icon of the show.
It's gonna be
We're
more
all right if it's the king of hell. Yeah, hi.
That's money timeline. I thought Michael was at home.
Because you're actress, what's one part of your profession that you didn't foresee being difficult, whether it's getting to the emotional state or like part of contract, something that you have had to work on?
That's a good question. There's a lot, I think there's a lot to it. I think to borrow something that Richard Spade always says, the juice is worth the squeeze. There's certainly pros and cons, and you can have the public be as much part of your life or as little part of your life as you're willing. I think the most difficult part, God, there's a lot of time away from family. You sort of, a family and friends, you sort of go, I used to do this for the first couple seasons of Supernatural. I used to literally take my friends out to a steakhouse in like June. They're like, all right guys, love you, see you in a year. You're like, all right, have fun. Like, you don't really see a lot. There's a lot you miss.
We're sorry.
No, it's not. No, I'm not missing it with you guys. My family's here. They're keeping me up at night. So what I was trying to say is I don't have enough time away from my family. You know what else it is? There's so much luck. There's not a direct route to the top. It's not like being a doctor is easy. But my brother's a doctor, and I saw what he did. He went to college, then he went to med school, and then he applied for a residency, and he got one, and he did a fellowship. Now he's a doctor. It's not like, hey, go work on your acting, and you'll be an actor, or like you're going to make a living. So it's sort of the vagaries and the insecurities of crazy jobs.
Yeah, there's no formula to success in this industry, which is, intimidating and scary at the same time. Just to touch on what he was saying, another kind of part about what we do specifically that I don't think we really understood kind of coming into it, but we do now, is that, and it's not just because we think this of ourselves, it's because we get constantly told it, but the tone that we set every day on set is very powerful. If he and I come to set and we're angry and we're, just a horrible person to work with and stuff, that's going to set the tone for the entire crew. And everybody's, it's going to be a miserable day on set. But Jared and I, we're very aware that if we come to set with good energy, we respect everyone we work with, then it's going to be a good workplace. And everybody else is going to respect each other, and it's just going to be a nice environment to create in. And so he and I, there's been days when, it's been bad days, it's been good days, but every day we show up on set, we try to make it as good as possible. We know that that's a responsibility that we've taken on, and I think we're proud of it, but sometimes it can be difficult, because you've got 80 to 100 people every day looking at you, waiting for you to come on set. When you walk on, you're on. It's not just when the camera's rolling. It's like you're on. You gotta be professional and respectful and creative and do your job properly, because it really kind of trickles down. I think that's a responsibility we didn't expect, but we try to tackle and honor as much as we can. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Go ahead.
You say you make your mamas proud, right?
Oh, well, I hope so.
I don't know.
They're far away. We hope they hear.
So yesterday we had a chance to meet the screen for us to America.
Yes. Little twisted.
Have you seen the finished product and what?
Well, when Danielle when Misha called and asked her to do that, and she said she was going to go do it, I was like, that he is a really twisted person. And she's like, yeah, that's why I like him. Okay, I want you to understand that going in. No, but they're very good friends, and Danielle's a big fan of his, and so she jumped at the opportunity, and she does predominantly comedy stuff, so she didn't bat an eye at that, and of course I'm like, what is this? And when I saw it, oddly enough, it did not shock me at all. the two of those together doing that kind of stuff, I was like, yeah, that makes total sense. I thought it was funny and, you know, a twisted kind of humor, but funny nonetheless. And it really kind of falls in line with both of their sense of humor. So.
And I read it, I haven't seen it yet, but I've been reading the scripts. I think when you have somebody, like a loved one, when you have a loved one who wants to be goofy and silly, and they're doing it with somebody you trust, like, with Misha, sure, have fun, they're friends. But if it was like with some creepo director that you never knew, it was like this.
Oh yeah, if that wasn't Misha, I would have said, no, you're not doing that. Whether or not she would have listened to me is one thing, but I would have attempted to put the kibosh on that. To say, hi.
Hi. Sacrifice.
Yes.
Season 8 finale.
Yeah.
That church scene was amazing. No, it was going to be just awesome.
I didn't get to see it when it happened. I was we had some family stuff going on, and I wasn't really in front of television.
Yeah, but when you filmed it,
No,
you know?
no, I didn't. I knew it was going to be.
I don't think you ever know. I think
You never know.
you just kind of give it your best and
Yeah.
hope that it comes together in the editing room.
And there's and it was wonderfully cut. I knew that I loved the script. I knew that I read the script and I was like, wow, this is amazing. But if you think, thank you, if you think about what you're doing too much when you're doing it, you ruin it. So you really, it's like somebody asked me one time about, I got to work with my idol, Peter O'Toole, before he died. They were like, this is so nerve-wracking. And it is until you're doing it. Because if you sit there going like, it's Peter O'Toole, then you're going to ruin everything. So you have to, it's like play tennis against.
I did that sitting here looking at you.
Well, I appreciate it. I do look at him, I'm like, hey. Thank you. But yeah, it was a lot of, I don't want to say it was fun, because it was very, it was trying, but it was,
Yeah, you were wiped after that day.
I was white, yeah. It was a couple days in a row of, thank you.
All right, I think we got time for one more. Jared, why don't you pick it?
This is right there.
Hi.
From Rome, Italy.
Ah,
And I will be seeing you in the end of
That's a fake accent.
very.
And I would love to make an Italian version of a scene where you are in the room with your